Alrighty, welcome to the advanced level of the hips don't lie routine. This is a step up from the intermediate routine, and like always you can perform each individual superset for 2 to 3 rounds with 1 minute's rest between sets before moving on to the next superset, or you can perform the entire routine in a circuit and then repeat the entire circuit about 2 to 3 times. Okay, so select which option suits you and all the best. Cheers mate.
Begin in a tall upright posture with the weight in one hand. Now we're performing a one-legged hip hinge where we extend the leg behind the body that is on the same side as the weight that we are holding. So as we hinge forward, we're focusing on staying as stable on our stationary leg as possible. As we extend the airborne leg behind the body, we reach down towards the floor with the weight in hand, keeping our spine as tall as possible and focusing on maintaining a stable pelvis by keeping your hips parallel to the floor and not allowing them to tilt side to side. You can complete the movement by raising up out of the bottom position and finishing with a knee drive, so we are locking out the hip on the stationary leg, engaging the hip and glute muscles, and driving the knee up on the airborne leg to complete the movement. Stand tall and upright on a stable, elevated surface. Hold on to an object for support if you need to. Now place your outside foot through the handle of the kettlebell, extending that leg completely straight, feeling a light stretch in the hip. Now from here, point your toes up towards the ceiling, drive your knee up to at least hip height, feeling a contraction in the front of the hip muscles, and then return the foot back down to the extended starting position. Make sure you keep a smooth, controlled tempo throughout this exercise, keeping your posture nice and tall, engaging the hips on both sides of your body, and also through the front of the calf muscles on the working leg. Place the heel of one of your legs through the strap or the handle of your TRX suspension trainer. Drive your elbows into the floor to stabilize your body. Drive your hips up to the ceiling as you contracting through your hamstrings and your glutes, driving your heel to the back of your thigh, and then return to the starting position. Make sure you focus on stability of your hips the entire time. Drive your heel hard down into the strap. Make sure your torso stays stable, keeping a smooth, steady rhythm. Set yourself up in the side plank position with your elbow directly beneath your shoulder. Now placing your bottom leg in the bottom strap of the TRX suspension trainer and your top leg in the top. If you do not have a suspension trainer that has the double strap, then just simply place your top foot on top of your bottom leg. Now what you're doing with this exercise is you are lowering your hips down to the floor, and then you're driving them up towards the ceiling to get a straight line from your shoulder to hips to foot, and then repeating this process. Make sure every single rep is controlled, pressing your feet hard down into the straps to add stability, and find a range of motion that you can comfortably control. Place one foot through the handle of the TRX suspension trainer and get yourself set up in a strong hand plank position, hands about shoulder width apart, shoulders rounded forward for added torso stability, and then you are alternating your leg swing as if you are running. So as you drive your knee up towards your torso with the foot that is in the strap, you are slightly raising your hips and you're extending your airborne leg out behind the body, and then you are simply alternating that leg swing every repetition, keeping the reps powerful and under control. Begin in the side plank position with your elbow directly beneath your shoulder and your leg that is closest towards the ceiling, your top leg, that is placed through the handle of the TRX suspension trainer. Your other leg is just staying airborne. Now lower your hips down towards the floor, as close to the floor as you possibly can with full control, and then drive your hips up towards the ceiling, contracting through your inner thigh muscles on the leg that has the foot in the strap, also focusing on your oblique muscles, staying as stable as possible, and then return to the floor and repeat, making sure every repetition is under control with the range of motion that you can control.
Place your foot in the handle of the TRX suspension trainer and set yourself up in a stable split squat position. Now, the difference between this exercise and a regular split squat is that the foot that is attached to the handle is going to be moving and taking your hip through a deeper range of motion. So if you need to, as demonstrated in this video, you can hinge forward slightly and reach down to the floor for stability, or alternatively you could set up another piece of equipment that you can hold on to out in front of you if you need to for added stability. The focus here is keeping your feet, knees and hips in alignment, making sure each rep feels under control and feeling a light stretch in the front of the hip in the reverse leg and overall glute and thigh engagement. Stand side on to the TRX suspension trainer, placing one foot through the handles of the straps. Now from here we need to be slow with this movement and gauge our range of motion. So as you can see in the video, I am placing my forearm on one of my thighs just to add some extra stability. As we lower down into the side lunge, we are slightly turning the toes and the knee out on our outside leg to create hip stability. As we extend our foot out that is in the strap, we are straightening that leg and we are pressing that foot down into the strap to engage our inner thigh muscles, and then we return to the standing position. As you become more familiar with this movement, you will not need the assistance of your other arm for balance, but take your time, be patient, assess your range of motion, assess how balanced you are, making sure you are under control with every single repetition.